Good morning. This meeting of the Investment Committee is being held at 30 North 3rd Street, Harrisburg, PA. By participating in this session, you are consenting to the recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting. Although being live streamed via the internet, this meeting is live, in-person meeting for the public in accordance with the Sunshine Act. The live streaming of this meeting is presented as a convenience and not provided as an official means for public attendance. In the event the live stream fails or cannot be transmitted for any reason, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption. Please proceed with the meeting. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I would like to call to order this July 18, 2022 meeting of the Investment Committee of the Pennsylvania State Employees Retirement System. Bill Trung, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Chair Becker.
Here.
Senator DeSanto or designee, please.
This is Chuck Erdman for Senator DeSanto.
Thank you. Mr. Philbin.
Present.
Representative Frankel or designee, please.
This is Dan Oscar, designee. Representative Frankel will be trying to join the call.
Thank you. Treasurer Garrity.
I'm here.
Senator Hughes or designee, please.
This is Tony Marchowski, but Senator Hughes should be joining shortly.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan?
He's not here today, Bill.
Okay, thank you. Representative Schemmel or designee, please.
Here.
Ms. Soderberg.
Here.
Thank you. Secretary Thal.
Here.
Secretary Vague or designee, please.
This is Richard Vague. I'm here.
Thank you. Chair, we have 10 present, 1 absent.
Great, thank you, Bill. First order of business is the approval of the minutes of the June 3, 2022 Investment Committee meeting. I move that we approve the minutes as written. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no. Hearing none, motion is passed. We have no old business to discuss today. On new business, we do have an update on fixed income restructuring, and also there are a couple of informational items that have been placed on board docs. So for that, I would like to turn the meeting over to Jim Nolan and the investment office.
Thanks, Chair Becker. Yes, before we start going through the material, which we will point out is a brief, I think it's a record short investment committee. Happy to announce in the summer like this. But before we do that, I just wanted to ask Joe Marcucci to update the committee on our legal representation. And then we'll go into some announcements. Jared Snyder will cover some new investment office staff that have joined the firm as well. So, Joe, go ahead.
Thank you, Jim. As some of the committee may know, the former Deputy Chief Counsel in the legal office, Jeff McCormick, has transferred to Jim Nolan's staff. He's going to the client side of the business. He will now be my boss, or one of many bosses that we work for. Because we then needed a Deputy Chief Counsel, we were able to hire Steve Scoff. Steve is at the end of the table. I don't know if the camera can focus on him. Steve comes to us from the Public School Employees Retirement System, where he was Deputy Chief Counsel for the last 6 years, and he has a total of 14 years at PSCRS. So he is well versed in the Commonwealth contract process, has the relationships with the Attorney General, knows the procurement code, a really fine catch for us. I'm very excited about Steve working for us. He's already had a number of good ideas, and I'm looking forward very much to having him here. Steve will be advising the investment committee. He will also be committee counsel to the Securities Litigation Committee and co-counsel on the Finance and Member and Participants Services Committee. So I look forward to working with Steve, and think he'll be a really good addition. So the agency is better off now. We have both Steve and Jeff here. So thank you.
Thanks, Joe. And then Jared Snyder, Portfolio Manager, is going to cover the recent additions to the investment office. We're happy to report with Jeff McCormick joining us from legal that Joe just mentioned. In addition to the new staff that Jared's going to cover, the investment office is nearly fully staffed. The first time since I've been at Service for 6 years that we've been nearly fully staffed. We have one more to go, and we'll be able to say we're fully staffed. So we're working on that one too with Katie Matthews. Thank you for that, Katie. And Jared, if you would introduce our, or just bring up this, bring the committee up to speed on what's transpired in terms of staffing, even though they're not present in the room per our protocol. But go ahead, Jared.
Sure. Thank you, Jim. So I am pleased to announce that we added 3 new analysts to the team. Mr. Steve Shank is going to be reporting to Bill Trong. He brings many years of experience within the private market, so happy to have him join the team. And then we also have Matt Seacrest and Jenny Keim joining, and their first day is today. So happy to have them join the team and look forward to working with them. Jim?
Okay, thank you, Jared. Mr. Becker, I can start with the meeting agenda, if that's good with you.
Yes, please proceed. Thank you.
Okay, good. So if we could go to the first item in Board Docs 5A, labeled Fixed Income Restructuring, a presentation under the CIO updates. Thank you for that, Kelly. And if I could direct you to page 4 of that document. This is a recap of the transition to the fixed income structure that was approved at the board meeting earlier in the year. We worked with Callan in the investment office, both the private equity and the real estate consultant, and we optimized the allocation to try to get every basis point we can while maintaining the risk posture that the committee's comfortable with. In that process, there was some suggestions for the fixed income portfolio, and you can see here the majority of that transaction has taken place. The 3 items marked in gray are simply transfers of existing portfolios with the fixed income index fund provider into their bucket, the bond index, the first item. So that's why you see all the zeros over to the right. The 3 strategies below that aren't marked in gray actually are in the process of being liquidated, and when that liquidation is complete, that cash you'll see is summarized down below. That's the anticipated cash amount we'll be getting, and that'll be going to the cash account and will be available for upcoming rebalancing. So this will get us completely in line with the new allocation. And if you could advance to the next page, page 5, you'll see a before and after. So this is the new asset allocation. Over to the right, you'll see we're much closer to targets than we were prior to this transaction, particularly in the fixed income area. And that's just there for your review. And I'll just open this up that anybody have any questions on the transactions there. Jared, any points I missed on that you care to add, or do we cover everything? All good? Okay. Okay, if there's no questions, thank you for your patience in restructuring. It's always a drawn-out process trying to maintain the the structures while not incurring unnecessary transaction costs. So that was part of that process. Okay, with that, we can move on to the next item. As Chair Becker indicated, under informational items 5B in board docs, there's no live stream on that at this point, but we do have the asset allocation, and then we're just keeping the funds to recommendation update present for board members to keep you current on what's happening in that area. And with that, that's all we have for new business. And then I'll ask Steve Scoff if he would help us move into an executive session to move on to the items in there.
Thank you, Jim. The Sunshine Act allows for an executive session to discuss any matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of performance, promotion or discipline of any specific current public employee of SERS. The scheduled executive session is to review, discuss, and evaluate the performance and goals of the Chief Investment Officer. This business is authorized under the Sunshine Act to be done in executive session. The Sunshine Act also allows an executive session to discuss agency business which, if conducted in public, would violate a lawful privilege or lead to the disclosure of information or confidentiality protected by law. The scheduled executive session to discuss the management of an investment portfolio, and this business is also authorized under the Sunshine Act to be done in executive session.
Before we enter into executive session, please give us a minute to make a few technical changes here in the boardroom. We will make you aware when the appropriate changes have been successfully made. As a reminder, the public meeting will resume on this live stream connection when the executive session is complete.
Great, thank you. Okay, we're back into public session. We have no other formal items on the agenda for today. Any questions, concerns, comments by the committee? If not, I would move that we adjourn the meeting. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
Great. Thank you. We are adjourned, and we'll see everyone next week at the board meeting. Thank you.